The journey home. Min's quest for family. Min's life had transformed from despair to hope, from the cold streets to the warmth of a workshop he had built with his own hands. Yet, no matter how far he had come, a void lingered in his heart. He had no family to share his success with, no one to call on during quiet evenings or festive celebrations. Lucky, his loyal dog, filled some of that emptiness, but Min often found himself wondering about the family he had lost so many years ago. Min's memories of his childhood were scattered and blurred. His father had passed away when he was young, leaving his mother to raise him and his two younger siblings alone. Poverty and misfortune had pulled the family apart, and after years of separation, Min didn't even know if they were still alive. But deep within him, the yearning to reunite burned bright. A mysterious letter. One rainy afternoon, while Min was busy carving a piece of oak for a customer, the postman delivered a letter. The envelope was worn, and the handwriting shaky, as if written by someone unfamiliar with holding a pen. Min opened it cautiously. Dear Min, I don't know if this will reach you, but I have heard whispers of your success in the city. If this is truly you, please know that I have never stopped praying for you. Your mother still lives in the countryside, and she has never given up hope of seeing her son again. With love, an old friend. Min's hands trembled as he read the letter. It offered no details about the sender, but it was enough to reignite his determination. He decided then and there he would search for his family. The first step. The next day, Min packed his belongings, leaving his workshop in the care of his trusted assistant. Lucky, ever faithful, wagged his tail as he hopped into the passenger seat of Min's rented motorbike. Min's first stop was the village where he had last seen his family. The village had changed over the years. New houses stood where rice paddies once stretched, and unfamiliar faces occupied the narrow streets Min had walked as a child. He asked around, showing an old photograph of his mother and siblings, but most people shook their heads. Some older villagers remembered his family but didn't know where they had gone. One elderly woman paused thoughtfully. I remember your mother, she said. She used to sell vegetables in the market, but after the flood she disappeared. Try asking in the neighboring town. Following the trail, Min followed the lead, traveling from town to town, asking questions and showing the photograph to anyone who would listen. The journey was exhausting, but he pressed on. At times, he would sit by the roadside, sharing a simple meal with Lucky and drawing strength from his loyal companion. In one bustling market, a vendor recognized the photograph. Yes, I've seen her, the vendor exclaimed. She was here a few months ago, selling herbs. She mentioned moving to a small village by the river. The reunion. Min's heart raced as he made his way to the village by the river. He asked for his mother at every house until finally, an elderly man pointed him to a small, run-down hut near the edge of the village. As Min approached the hut, he saw a frail woman sitting on a wooden stool, her back turned to him. Her hair was streaked with gray, and her hands were rough from years of hard work. Min's voice caught in his throat as he called out, Mother? The woman froze. Slowly, she turned to face him, her eyes wide with disbelief. Min, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. Is it really you? Min ran to her, dropping to his knees as he embraced her. It's me, Mother, he said, his voice breaking. I've come home. The missing pieces. In the days that followed, Min learned about the hardships his family had endured after they were separated. His mother explained how she had struggled to keep the family together after the flood that destroyed their home. His younger brother Than had left to find work in another province, while his sister Lan had married and moved to a distant town. Min vowed to reunite the entire family. With his mother's help, he tracked down Lan first. She was living in modest conditions, raising two young children. Lan wept when she saw Min, overwhelmed by the brother she thought she would never see again. Than was harder to find, as he had moved frequently in search of work. After weeks of searching, Min finally located him in a bustling industrial city. Than was working long hours in a factory, his face etched with exhaustion. When Min appeared at the factory gate, Than's stoic expression melted into one of pure joy. Brother! He cried, throwing his arms around Min. A family reunited. For the first time in decades, the family gathered under one roof. Min rented a small house near his workshop, inviting his mother and siblings to stay with him. Together, they cooked meals, shared stories, and healed the wounds of the past. Lucky became the family mascot, adored by everyone. Min's siblings contributed to the workshop, with Then handling logistics and Lan helping with design ideas. The business flourished, and Min's story of perseverance and family became a source of inspiration for the community. Lessons of the heart. Through it all, Min reflected on the journey that had brought him to this point. He realized that his struggles had taught him resilience, and his hardships had deepened his compassion. His family's reunion reminded him of the Buddhist principle of interconnection, that no one is truly alone, and every action ripples through the lives of others. Min often shared his story with customers and friends, emphasizing the importance of hope, forgiveness, and the unwavering belief that broken bonds can be mended. Family, he would say, is like the wood I work with. It may crack or warp under pressure, but with care and effort, it can be restored to something beautiful and strong. The New Year's promise. As the new year approached, Min gathered his family around the table. They raised their glasses in a toast to the journey they had shared and the future they would build together. "Let's make this year one of love and gratitude," Min said, his voice steady with conviction. "No matter what challenges come our way, we'll face them together." The fireworks lit up the night sky, reflecting in their eyes as they smiled at one another. For Min, the journey was far from over, but he knew he had already found what he had been searching for all along, a place to belong, surrounded by love.